they're clapping because Kill Me just left. Let's welcome tonight's guest. His sharp razors make up for his dull commentary. Host of the David Angelo Show on YouTube and founder of Western Razor Company.
Two credits.
David Angelo. She's well respected for getting Republicans elected. GOP strategist Erin McGuire. She's proof you don't need a diploma to put libs in a coma. Political media personality Emily Wilson. And she became a big star by watching men spar. Host of Outkick the Morning, Charlie Arnold. All right. Now, before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
Yeah, it's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. And as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll slather Joe Mackey in barbecue sauce and feed him to J.B. Pritzker. On a flight to Italy, a couple was forced to sit beside a dead passenger. Big deal. I sleep next to one every night, said one woman. Former VP nominee Tim Walz is now doing stand-up comedy. Kamala dropped by to support him because she heard there was an 8-drink minimum. Attorney General Pam Bondi accused the FBI of hiding thousands of Epstein documents. The FBI put them in a place no one would look. Joy Behar's back fat.
Ew.
2 Denver strip clubs were ordered to pay nearly $14 million for wage theft. Not only that, all $14 million must be in the form of crumpled 20s. But industry experts say it's the first time that strippers were the ones left stiffed. Yeah, I thought about that one too. In Maine, a tractor trailer carrying frozen curly fries caught fire on the highway. Crap. Now I need a new tractor trailer, said one man. Dylan Mulvaney is coming out with a book about his transformation from a guy to a guy who says he's a chick. It's called Moby Dickless. MSNBC host Nicole Wallace said Joy Reid's ouster, well, it was like losing a limb. We go to Joey Jones for comment.
Actually, Nicole, I strongly disagree. Watching Joy Reid's show is worse than losing a limb.
He would know.
He would.
Researchers say belly fat can help stave off cognitive decline. So that's how Michael Moore can remember he has a penis. Don Lemon told Megyn Kelly to go F herself after seeing her reaction to Joy Reid's firing. He would have said more, but he had to clear the dishes from her table. Academy Awards are this weekend. The subject matter of the Best Picture nominees include a transgender cartel leader, a transgender pope, and a sex worker. Just add a petting zoo and it would sound just like my birthday. Family fun. According to People 100 years of age or older, the secret to longevity is staying busy. That and not crossing Hillary Clinton. Travis Kelce didn't propose to Taylor Swift on their recent romantic getaway. I guess that means neither got a ring. Sports humor. Parents in Maryland are outraged at a new bill that would make condoms available in school vending machines. I get it. The last thing you want is teachers getting pregnant. Starbucks is laying off more than 1,000 workers. Bad news for anyone looking to start a second career. JetBlue announced they're offering a new incentive to help travelers safeguard their vacations if they encounter heavy rain. Yeah, it's called an umbrella. Tulsi Gabbard announced 100 employees who used obscene sex chat rooms at work will be fired. And in a related story, guess who just cleared his browser history? All right, to the monologues. Washington Post owner Jeff Bezos has declared a new direction for the newspaper's opinion pages. In a memo, he writes, "We are going to be writing every day in support of and defense of two pillars, personal liberties and free markets." Personal liberties and free markets? What is he, some kind of Nazi? Bezos added, "Freedom is ethical. It minimizes coercion. It drives creativity, invention, and prosperity." Ugh! Sounds pretty good, though. I'm starting to rethink my negative views on steroid use. Now, as you can imagine, the legacy media is all aflutter, because apparently if you're for freedom, you must also be for Trump. Check out these bozos.
The question is he taking the free out of the free press?
Clearly, he's signaling that he's going to use these kinds of made-up words to say, "I'm with Trump."
Is throwing up his hands and kissing the ring of the President of the United States, who is behaving himself as an incipient authoritarian.
Most of us, when we saw this, we just said, what the hell? It's like something that we've never heard. I mean, it's obviously opinion pages can go their own direction, but to say we don't publish opposing viewpoints seems shocking at best.
You know what is shocking? That he still has a job. It's not what he said, you bozo. And now David Shipley, the paper's own opinion editor, quit in protest. It's weird. You'd think the media would embrace the idea of freedom, but they aren't. And why is that? Why are they against so many things that make sense, like cutting waste, deporting pedophiles, and giving Justin Trudeau a massive wedgie? It's because Trump is for those things, which to the left makes them more toxic than Brian Stelter's boxers after Taco Tuesday. True, if Trump found a cure for cancer, the media would call it an attack on cellular democracy. So why is Trump so hard to deal with? That the media has now come out against freedoms. Well, his personal goals align with the country's. That's what happens when you're a patriot. His own personal success is intertwined with ours. If the country doesn't do well, he doesn't do well. That's why when his critics say, "Ooh, Trump is just out for himself," we say, so what? He can only win if we win. And the media has no way to combat this. So they're left with railing against personal liberties, just like they did during COVID. But they're also opposed to freedom because it keeps them from total compliance. They prefer coercion, which is the only thing that keeps their incompetence protected. And how dare Bezos introduce priorities? The legacy media abandoned that concept years ago. Gone were the obvious concerns: crime, immigration, inflation. What did they replace it with? Trans rights, climate activism, agenda-driven issues that only fed their egos. And the result? A story on drag queens replaces a story on veterans. The media reimagined priorities to reflect their disconnected view of the world. Suddenly, crime was less important than the rights of criminals. Children were less important than the non-binary activists teaching them. The border was given less attention than environmental justice. In other words, the stuff that matters suddenly didn't matter, which coincidentally is what outfits like CNN call their business model. And it worked great. Just ask Joy Reid. Look, there are a lot of ways for the media to distort reality by emphasizing one thing while ignoring another, or by plain old lying. Whatever the method, it will always collapse when what the media tells us doesn't jibe with what our eyes can see and our ears can hear. It's a lesson the Washington Post is learning the hard way, because literally and figuratively, the American people just aren't buying it. So yeah, maybe what Bezos is doing reflects what Trump wants, but that's only because what the president wants is what everyone wants. A media that isn't full of that doesn't lie, that doesn't manipulate, and a media that reflects the real world instead of their lonely preoccupations. Fat chance. I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed right into an orange-colored iceberg called Trump. David, I like this new look you're sporting. You're like a Santa Fe mailman.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, Chase down all those dogs.
Yes, exactly. So what do you think about the changes at the Washington Post? Is Trump making the media great again?
I don't think so. There's a long way to go to get there.
Are you enjoying your water?
No, I asked for vodka. Where's it? This crowd hates me. Okay. Here's the thing. Jeff Bezos owns Whole Foods.
Right.
So when I hear him say he's in support of free markets, that makes me feel good about shoplifting there. You know? Just walk out with a rotisserie chicken every now and then. But no, the media at Washington Post, I think he realized that as one of the richest men in the world, it didn't make business sense to pay a bunch of propagandists to usher in the communist revolution.
Yes. Finally dawned on him.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm going to be first against the wall here.
Yes, exactly.
What's it? Why does this crowd hate me?
You know, David, it's not just the crowd. We brought in some of your family members to talk about you. And is Bezos moving to the right, or is he just kissing the ring, as whatever that dude was saying?
No, I don't think he's moving to the right. I think he's moving towards sanity and towards the center. Let's remember that this is not anything new. One, I think editorial boards are the way of the past. We don't need a bunch of disconnected people telling us who we should vote for president. You can share your opinion. I'm totally here for that. But this is just all nonsense anyways. But remember during the 2020 cycle, all of these left-wing talking heads now are talking about, oh, he's suppressing the press and freedom. When Michael Bloomberg was running for president of the United States, he told his publication, Bloomberg, to not cover the other Democrats in the primary negatively.
Right.
So we want to talk about freedom of the press and manipulation. There's just one example of a mountain of where this has happened. So you know what? If you want to move toward the center and start having people read your publication again, this is a good start for that.
All right. Emily? I love how on CNN the people were accusing him of using made-up words like personal liberty. I didn't know that was made up.
They were like freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
All these made-up words like freedom, and I'm like, yeah, I guess maybe you guys don't use those words too often, so it might be a new word for you.
Yeah.
It's funny. I really don't believe them when they're like, oh, they're just scared of Trump. It's like, no, actually, I disagree. I think they were scared of the last administration, which is why they didn't publish these things, that were going more towards being pro just America and common sense in general. But it's funny because, like, when I think of, like, Washington Post and all these things, I'm like, yeah, how are we going to live without, like, the history of the racism of birds?
Yes.
Those are, like, real articles they've been putting out for 4 years.
It would be the secret racist history of birds. You know, it's funny, though, because if he had actually said that the number one priority would be resisting Trump, they would have gone crazy with joy.
Yeah, they would have loved it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the American people would have loved it anymore.
That is true. All right, it's Friday, Charlie, your last day in that seat.
Well, for this week.
Yes, well, you didn't get the news?
No, I haven't gotten it yet. Don't break it on air. Tell me afterwards.
So is this a harbinger? Is that the right word?
Yes.
A harbinger?
Well, you're going to have to explain that word to me. You're like, is that the word? And then I don't know.
Is it like a foreshadowing of things to come?
A foreboding.
Foreboding? I don't know what that is. I'm against boating.
This crowd,
this crowd loves this show so much, they're in rapt silence, David.
They're in awe.
It's true. They don't want to miss a line.
They don't want to miss a line.
Thank you for...
They don't want to...
Keep the audio track clean. No laughs.
Is this a foreboding of more of what's to come?
Yes, thank you.
Well, the answer is yes, because I think we've seen a very distinct trend. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody, let's take a look at Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all, it's not just a mental and emotional transformation. I mean, just look at these guys. Like, they're getting jacked.
Yes.
Right?
Literally, steroidal.
When you look at Jeff Bezos from 2013 when he purchased the Washington Post to now, like, he went from Kevin Spacey to Vin Diesel. Like,
yes.
Soy boy dork to, like, Jack Stud, whose fiance's cleavage was the most talked about thing at the inauguration.
Yeah, you know what he is? I said this before. Jeff Bezos is like a 13-year-old with $1 billion.
A lot more than $1 billion.
Yeah, $100 billion. He's like, I'm going to get muscles.
And a
I'm going to
yacht.
get a woman with big boobs. gonna go into space. That's exactly what I would say.
Well, but also, it has to be said, healthier body, healthier mind. I don't think it's a coincidence that now he's starting to make these moves, and we can't just call it a fluke, Aaron. I know you say he's becoming more to the center, but he attended Trump's inauguration, donated to the inaugural fund. I do think that Jeff Bezos is understanding that conservative values maybe are the centrist values of years ago, right? But now it's considered you are conservative. So, no, I think he's waking up, and I think it's smart. He's trying to preserve his audience and save his business.
All right.